MTL World at Metal World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2 Origin Continent. Chapter 252 Universal Currency. 31st of Volume 6. Even treasures worth tens of thousands of reward points are quite good. Di Qing said with a smile. By the way, isn't it difficult to sell the few secret treasures left behind by Di Yuan after his death? It's quite difficult to sell. I barely managed to sell 2 out of 5. Luo Feng waved his hand, and the remaining 3 treasures, the red cloak, battle boots, and gloves appeared. Sell the 2 more valuable ones, and the remaining 3 are the most ordinary. Di Qing said. 3 treasures from the early stage of the God Emperor. How about this? My Yan Feng Ancient Kingdom will buy them back, rounding it up to 10,000 Xuanhuan crystals. 1 Xuanhuan crystal needed to be exchanged by guests and ministers from the 2 ancient countries, and only 1 share of the merit can be exchanged. 10,000 Xuanhuan crystals are worth tens of billions of merits. This is a huge achievement that is enough to make even ordinary second-level god kings look up in awe. Even for emperors and monarchs, gathering such a vast amount of merit is an extremely difficult task. Okay. Luo Feng nodded with a smile. Who? Di Qing waved of his hand, and a pile of dazzling Xuanhuan crystals appeared floating beside him. Luo Feng's eyes lit up. These Xuanhuan crystals were about the size of fingers, each one very smooth and naturally exuding an aura that made Luo Feng feel an urge to absorb them. Xuanhuan crystals are the universal currency outside the origin world. Di Qing explained. It is condensed from the essence of the endless Xuanhuan power by the Xuanhuan beings who have broken free from their confines. Each one has the size of fingertip, which makes them suitable for transactions. Luo Feng waved his hand to collect the pile of Xuanhuan crystals, but he left 3 in his hand, carefully feeling them. Xuanhuan crystal is beneficial for the cultivation of all life within the cage. Di Qing said. Universal currency. Luo Feng understood, carefully looking at the 3 Xuanhuan crystals in his palm. Absorbing it is beneficial for cultivation. But it should be done in moderation. Di Qing said. In the early stages of the God Emperor's strength, you shouldn't absorb more than 100 per epoch. If the amount absorbed is too large, the effects will be worse, and even completely ineffective. Each practitioner has different physical and spiritual strengths, so the most suitable limits also vary. You need to gradually explore this in your practice. In short, once you feel the effect diminishing, you must immediately reduce the consumption. Di Qing reminded. As long as you maintain a lower consumption, the effect of Xuanhuan crystal will remain quite better. You can continue using it until you break free from the cage. Luo Feng exclaimed. Indeed amazing. Xuanhuan crystal can even be used by the ordinary guest officials of the 2 ancient nations. The God Emperors can use it too. It is indeed a very adaptable treasure. Brother Yin, if the secret method is completed and everything is ready, notify me at any time. Di Qing handed a command token to Luo Feng. At that time, crush the token, and I will sense it immediately. The other emperors of the Flame Wind Ancient Kingdom could only send messages to Di Qing, but Di Qing wouldn't read them while in seclusion. However, Di Qing sensed this talisman from Luo Feng immediately. Alright, once everything is ready to leave the origin continent, I will definitely inform Brother Qing. Luo Feng readily promised. Di Qing smiled and nodded, then took a step and left immediately. The Yangfeng Ancient Country, Qingdu. Emperor Qing Palace. A total of 11 emperors, including Emperor Fu, Emperor Yan, Emperor Zhu Feng, Emperor Chu, have gathered here, either in their true forms or as clones. During the battle between Di Qing and the Lord of the Galaxy released a 9-story tower, seemingly defeating Di Qing. These emperors were somewhat anxious. The greatest confidence of the Yangfeng Ancient Kingdom, which stood tall and proud, was the Yangfeng ancestor and Di Qing. On the origin continent, under the power restrictions, the gap between Di Qing and the Yangfeng ancestor is not significant. Who? Di Qing appeared on the throne in the main hall. Di Qing. The 11 emperors all looked at Di Qing. Di Qing looked at his fellow clansmen, frowned, and shook his head. The Lord of the Galaxy is extremely powerful. He even possesses a very powerful secret treasure. With that tower-like secret treasure, I wouldn't be able to defeat him either. The 11 emperors are enlightened. Even Di Qing can't defeat him. The power of the origin continent is limited. Even if the ancestor takes action, he will have to rely on powerful secret treasures to overwhelm the Lord of the Galaxy. Di Qing shook his head. He wouldn't be injured even after being overpowered. The foundation of the Lord of the Galaxy has been established. Di Qing shook his head gently and disappeared. Only the 11 emperors were left looking at each other. Even if the ancestor takes action with the help of secret treasures, he couldn't hurt the Lord of the Galaxy. Di Yan felt a chill in his heart. The Emperor Fu sighed and said, "We emperors are also helpless against the Thunder Ancestor and the East G Domain Ancestor. Now there's one more Galaxy Lord. It seems that the grudge of Emperor Yuan can only be endured." Emperor Kong sighed from the side. Di Kong, stop gloating over others' misfortunes. Di Yan scolded from the side. I'm speaking the truth, do you dare to take revenge? Di Kong sneered and took a step away. Leaving, another ancestor-level existence. Di Chu, Di Jufeng, and the others also left one by one. The Emperor Fu, however, was quite troubled. This Galaxy Lord is so powerful, with the secret treasure in hand, he can even suppress Di Qing. Is he really Luo He? At this moment, Emperor Fu isn't so confident either. With this strength, would he leave the origin continent with me? Companions are chosen by each other. He chose the other party. But the other party also has to think highly of him, Emperor Fu. The gap in strength is too big, the Galaxy Lord probably wouldn't want to bother with him. Cultivation ultimately depends on oneself. One must be strong enough. Di Fu thought to himself, I need to find a way to reach the ultimate realm. Even though his attainments in formations are obviously extremely profound, with only a thin veil separating him from the ultimate realm, yet he just couldn't break through. The Emperor Fu is very troubled. Di Qing has finally took action to avenge Di Yuan. That's it. The strength of Emperor Qing and the Lord of the Galaxy is too terrifying. Di Qing lost. That 9-story tower defeated Emperor Qing. Those with a bit of insight could see that in this confrontation, Di Qing had lost. This left them somewhat shocked. Because there is a consensus on the origin continent, if the ancestors of the two nations do not intervene, Di Qing is invincible. This time, the Lord of the Galaxy, holding the 9-story tower, completely overshadowed Di Qing. Our Thunder Ancient Kingdom, apart from our ancestors, has no existence above the God Kings. We need to be more cautious in the future. The monarchs of the Thunder Ancient Kingdom were even more alarmed than the emperors of the Yangfeng Ancient Kingdom. Isn't this the Star Tower I refined? Through the images recorded by the Thunder Chamber of Commerce, Sitting Mountain Guest clearly saw the entire battle between Di Qing and Luo Feng, and also witnessed the final appearance of the Star Tower. Star Tower, a secret treasure of the first level of the God King realm, can actually be used to defeat Di Qing. The Sitting Mountain Guest was puzzled. It seems that when I refined the Star Tower back then, the golden light that was infused into the Star Tower was quite special. Sitting Mountain Guest thought. With his strength, he was extremely cautious during the forging process, not daring to let even a tiny mistake slip through with the materials he used. Yet, a golden light ignored the formation he had set up, ignored his domain, and directly merged into the Star Tower. The mountain-sitting guest had sensed something was off from the very beginning. At that time, after the golden light merged into the refined Star Tower, the Star Tower quickly took shape. From his perspective back then, the Star Tower was indeed a treasure of the first level of the God King realm. He couldn't see the true mysteries of the Star Tower at all, and it was much harder than the mountain guest had anticipated. It was only Luo Feng, on the brink of death, who gained the Star Tower's recognition. A good treasure also needs a suitable master. Only in Luo Feng's hands can the Star Tower truly unleash its power. The mountain-sitting guest sighed deeply. As a forger and an existence at the first level of the God King realm, he couldn't even see the true mysteries of the Star Tower. The mountain guest only feels happy. Happy for his disciple. After avenging the deep-seated blood feud, the mountain-sitting guest felt an immense sense of calm. What mattered most to him now was his disciple Luo Feng. The more brilliant his disciple became, the happier he naturally felt. The little guy who came out from Earth, without realizing it, has already reached the pinnacle of the origin continent. The mountain-sitting guest thought, and smiled. Huyang City, the city lord's mansion, inside the quiet room. Luo Feng is currently in seclusion for cultivation here, and the affairs of the Galaxy Kingdom are mainly entrusted to Morosa. Of course, in critical moments, he can reach the Galaxy Kingdom with just a thought. This time, Di Qing deliberately helped me during the sparring. Luo Feng understood this. Di Qing only used a set of 3,000 killing formation, from beginning to end, without employing any other powerful techniques or using any secret treasures. A God King who has been wandering roamed the vast expanse outside the origin world for such a long time, doesn't have any life or death methods. There is no secret treasure in your hometown, not even a simple treasure. If he truly spares no effort, whether he can gain the upper hand is still hard to say. My own treasures might be superior, but Di Qing's realm is higher than mine. If he wields some late-stage or perfected-level God Emperor treasures, he might be able to match the Star Tower. Within the origin continent, power is limited. I, Di Qing, the ancestor of the two nations. Even if one side gains the upper hand, they cannot do anything to the other. But once you leave the origin continent, the gap becomes significant. Luo Feng knew very well that his so-called invincibility today was due to the advantage of the supreme rules of the origin continent. Practice diligently, at least you must reach the ultimate realm. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and a Xuanhuan crystal appeared in his palm. This finger-sized, smooth, jade-like treasure was swallowed in one gulp by Luo Feng. The Hunyuan crystal fell into the body and began to be slowly absorbed. Hunyuan crystal is the essence of Hunyuan power, and as long as one hasn't become a Hunyuan life, it is generally beneficial. At this moment, Luo Feng's physical body is being nourished, his soul is also being nourished, his thinking speed has increased several times, and his comprehension is also improving. It even has the effect of strengthening the body and empowering the soul. Luo Feng exclaimed. Hunyuan crystals, at a very slow pace, can strengthen the body and soul. Theoretically, with infinite Hunyuan crystals and infinite time, they can make the body and soul incredibly powerful to extremely terrifying levels. Unfortunately, the amount of Hunyuan crystals that can be consumed each epoch is limited. Consuming too much will actually reduce their effectiveness, or even render them ineffective. Generally, the higher the life level, the weaker the nourishing effect of the treasure. But the Hunyuan crystal can remain useful. Luo Feng closed his eyes and began to focus on comprehending the three types of Hunyuan bloodline biological materials he had obtained with ultimate realm strength. Time is also constantly flowing in practice. Since the confrontation with Emperor Qing, no one from the origin continent has dared to provoke the Galaxy Kingdom. The Lord of the Galaxy has already been placed on par with the ancestors of the two nations, the ancestor of the East Ji domain, and Di Qing. Moreover, the Lord of the Galaxy's hatred for evil has made the ancient beings of the entire origin continent dare not act recklessly. At least, the act of devouring billions of lives has been eradicated for the time being. In the blink of an eye, 300 centuries have passed since the establishment of the Galaxy Kingdom. On this day, an inconspicuous event occurred. The Elder Yuan of the Daohe sect broke through and became a god king. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World at Mittel World 1 YouTube channel.